So I've made a video about improving the gym leader Milo's team in Sword and Shield. This is a series of videos where I aim to make each and every gym leader's teams in every region a bit more challenging than they currently are, whether that be by giving them more powerful attacks, meaningful status moves, buffing their levels, or even swapping Pokemon out entirely. The main thing I strive to do is make the fight a bit more challenging, but still doable. I didn't mention this in my original video, but I am acting as if the gym leaders are not going to Dynamax their Pokemon. I know it's a big gimmick in Sword and Shield, but if that was the case, I would have to run over the max moves, which have no strategy to them, and they'd basically all be the same. So having done Milo, I'm now moving on to Nessa, the water type specialist and the second gym leader in the Galar region. The TM Nessa gives you is Whirlpool, and as such, 2 of her 3 Pokemon have it. The problem with Whirlpool is that it kinda sucks. Gym leaders usually slap the TM they give you on as many of their Pokemon as possible, which is why in the last video I still gave Magical Leaf to most of Milo's Pokemon. Starting off her original team, she has a level 22 Goldeen with Water Pulse, Whirlpool, Horn Attack, and Agility. This Goldeen actually isn't too bad. Water Pulse is a decently powerful attack, and if you're not careful and let it set up Agility, it'll outspeed your entire team and has Horn Attack for coverage against things Water Pulse wouldn't do well against. Next up is a level 23 Arrokuda with Aqua Jet, Bite, Whirlpool, and Fury Attack. Again, this Pokemon is not terrible. Aqua Jet basically guarantees it'll land a hit even if you sweat through Goldeen, and Bite can be a real pain if it outspeeds you. But Fury Attack really isn't too great of an attacking move, and Whirlpool is basically a waste of a move slot. Finally is her level 24 Dreadnought with Razor Shell, Water Gun, Bite, and Headbutt. I'm actually mostly okay with this Pokemon. It has a devastatingly powerful attack in Razor Shell for this point in the game, along with 2 moves that can cause a flinch. My major problem with it is the fact that it carries Water Gun, not only working off its weak special attack, but also kind of being redundant when Razor Shell is also present. Overall, Nessa is not too bad challenge-wise, but I do think there are some things that could be done to make her a bit better. At the moment, her team, like Milo's, is very vulnerable to one type, being one of the 3 that you might have started with. Thwackey will just decimate this team, and there is nearly nothing she can do about it. So while I won't be changing Dreadnought as her ace, I will be swapping out the 2 Pokemon prior. I think the first thing I have to do here is swap the TM that she gives you. It's still the early game, so I couldn't even think about making that Scald. Rather, I think the best TM to choose for this point in the game is Brine. Brine is a 65 base power special move that when used on an opposing Pokemon with 50% HP or less, does double damage. This is definitely a step up from Whirlpool, but it still has the right amount of counterplay to get around it. And now onto the Pokemon. To replace Goldeen as her lead, I would choose Araquanid. Araquanid is a bug and water type, meaning grass isn't super effective against it, and not only that, it has a stab super effective hit on grass types. Araquanid would be at level 23 and would have the ability of Water Absorb with the moves Brine, Bite, Bug Bite, and Aqua Ring. Araquanid is a powerful Pokemon to lead off with. Not being weak to Thwackey would catch first time players off guard and force them to adapt. Thinking about the secondary typing of Araquanid and attempt to play around it. Aqua Ring is there if some recovery is needed, as the Galar gym leaders do not use potions, and Bug Bite brings some important coverage on the before mentioned Thwackey, while sporting the gym's TM Brine for a powerful attacking move. Araquanid is also quite specially defensive, so a simple Thunder Shock isn't going to do the job. This should make the player think about what stat they are using to attack, and focus more on physical moves. And for those wondering why I didn't give it Water Bubble, that would be way too strong for this point in the game. Next up is a level 24 Wailmer with the ability Pressure and the moves Brine, Toxic, Rain Dance, and Bulldoze. This Wailmer is more of a staller, setting up a Toxic and then Rain Dancing to give us Brine an extra punch. You also can't stay in and spam healing until the rain goes away because the Toxic damage will keep piling up. Electric Pokemon are also not a free win here, as Wailmer sports Bulldoze. Pressure will also chew up a lot of PP while fighting it, which if the player has gotten their hands on a powerful electric move like Thunder, will really start to hurt if it misses. While Wailmer's physical attack is nothing amazing, it should still serve to make the player cautious of what kind of coverage moves a Pokemon could have. Finally is her level 26 Dreadnought with the Shell Armor ability, and Razor Shell, Bite, Ice Fang, and Bulldoze. Like I said originally, I didn't have much of a problem with Dreadnought. It was a hard Pokemon to take down, but if you had a grass Pokemon, one grass move was usually enough. So now Dreadnought has Ice Fang to cover for those grass types, also sporting Bulldoze for electric types. While Dreadnought is fairly slow and can still be outsped and one-shot by grass types, slower grass types will now need to think of another alternative to take it out. And once Dreadnought has been defeated, you earn yourself the Water Badge and TM55 Brine. And that's it. Being the second gym leader, this feels a little on the tough side, but I know it would be beatable. I intentionally made some choices like not giving Araquanid Icy Wind for flying type coverage, and I was originally going to make Wailmer a Dracovish, not having Fishious Rend of course, but I thought that was a bit too much for this point in the game. They are powerful Pokemon, and this is a tough fight, but this is exactly what gym leaders are meant to be.